If anyone ever asked me why I was wasting time having my students do a project-based learning using film and technology, I'd ask them if they'd met someone who is 12 years old or 16 years old in this day and age, because their life is integrated with technology. And so giving them purpose to use that and showing them how to use that in a creative process. When I had an opportunity to work with the mobile film class, I jumped at it because I thought that it would be more engaging and memorable to the students to still get the writing component from writing a script, but also have this project-based learning where they're engaging and actually problem solving by making a final product through film.
But this is the very first shot of the first Star Wars movie. In comes this giant spaceship. What kind of shot is this?
The project we did with the mobile film classroom, the students were working on persuasive appeals and using Aristotle's ethos, pathos, and logos. They did some research using like accredited articles, and then from there they had to come up with their 3 appeals. And then this was probably the hardest part for them, was turning that appeal into a script, which is where Frank, my liaison from the mobile film class, helped out a ton. My reservations going into it was class management with my students. They come from challenging home lives, a lot of them. There's not a lot of engagement. In this project, they needed to meet certain deadlines to go forward with the actual creation part. Being asked to collaborate with one another in 7th grade is really challenging. Most of them can't get their phones away from their faces. So to actually give them purpose and direction in a productive manner, I saw across the board a lot of students really respond to this lesson when normally they might tune out for the traditional text, if you will. In particular, there is this one female student that I have, and she comes to class late. She will argue back, not participate, really just against the grain, kind of chip on her shoulder. And for this particular project, she flourished. She loved being on camera. It gave her a voice, and a voice with a purpose. I noticed that she was not coming late to class anymore those days. And even more so, she worked with me instead of normally when she would argue back. She was actually helping me and really took the lead. And it was actually really heart touching because the kids I work with don't have as much opportunity as other kids do. Even if it only touched a few of them and really got through to a few of them, it's more than they would have had.
Welcome to Eliot Middle School News. Today we have reports about a problem, which kids are on their phones too much.
I think this was probably the most rigorous project that we'd done all year because, like I was saying, they were relying on each other and on themselves to have a product produced in order to go on to the next phase or the next step. And they got to have the experience of what it felt like to not be prepared. So in the classroom, say if we have an assignment and they don't do their homework, oh, I didn't do my homework. Really, that's the end of that, and then they don't get a grade. Which to a lot of the kids that I work with, that doesn't mean anything. But when you're in a group and you have a camera in your hand and a mic, and oh, I didn't do the work, other people are affected, and you really feel it because you can't go forward with the projects. I think that this project was beneficial to me as an educator because I'm always looking for new ways to incorporate technology into my lessons and as a tool for engagement with my students. But I know this particular lesson will always stick with them.